So my husband had a friend from California who used to come to Japan a few times a year to work with a partnering company in Japan. Whenever there was a business meeting, by the time the meeting actually occurred, it almost felt to him like the decisions had already been made. And anytime he suggested something new at the meeting, then it would almost always went to, okay, so let's talk about it at the next meeting. And after a while, he realized that Japanese people must be having conversations kind of behind the scenes before the meeting takes place. And the meeting itself was almost like a formality. Hi, my name is Tomo. I'm Japanese. I grew up in Tokyo as a pastor's kid, and I've been serving for the past 13 years in a rural part of Japan with my husband as a missionary. My husband's from California, and we've been working with local Japanese churches. So today I wanted to share with you this cultural concept in Japan called Nemawashi that has to do with communication, and hopefully this will help you communicate with the Japanese church or the pastor better and more effectively. Nemawashi is an informal Japanese business process of laying the foundation for some proposed change or project by talking to the people concerned and gathering support and feedback before a formal announcement. It is considered an important element in any major change in the Japanese business environment before any formal steps are taken. Successful nemawashi enables changes to be carried out with the consent of all sides, avoiding embarrassment. And this is not just important cultural practice in business settings, but it actually applies to any social setting, like a neighborhood community group or PTA meetings, or even local churches or parachurch organizations and things like that as well. So my advice to you as maybe you're a newer missionary in Japan, or maybe you're a seasoned missionary, but you've been struggling with this issue of communication with the Japanese church, before you finalize your idea or a decision had already been made, start talking about it casually in a semi-personal setting with some of the key players like the pastor or the church leaders, the lay leaders. You don't have to set up like an official meeting with them because that would feel a little too official and intimidating, like you're coming in with a decision. Just mention the idea without demanding like a concrete answer right away. So you could say something like, there's a church back home in America that would like to send a team this summer. Have you guys done anything like that in the past? Things like that. I wonder what that could look like. And then see his reaction. And then he may say, いいですね。どういうチームなんですか? Or something like that. Now, that's a pretty positive reaction, but that could still be just him being polite about it. So don't start buying plane tickets for the team just yet. So give him some time to think about it. Give him some more information. And if he continues to ask for more specifics and starts to make rough plans with you or suggest a specific date or something like that, then you know that he is actually interested. But after the first time you bring it up, he may say, oh... ... Or like, どうかな? ... Okay, どうかな? That's like a common one they might say in that situation. Then you know their initial impression is not super positive. So if that's their initial first reaction, maybe don't push the subject right then and there, but don't give up. Okay, so bring it up again after a few days or a few weeks or something like that, and just kind of remind them, hey, do you remember I mentioned a church back home that wants to send a team? Do you think there could be any way we could work it out? And if after the second time you mention it and their response is still the same as the first time of like, どうかな? Or something like that, then you might need to drop it and say, やっぱり難しいですかね? To give them a chance to softly decline. Okay, so Japanese people generally don't like to be put in a position to have to give a hard no. So it's a nice thing to do to kind of facilitate that no and just go, やっぱり難しいですかね. Then it's like, いやー、ちょっと難しいかもしれない. That means no. But maybe the second time you bring it up, they might ask specific questions like, oh yeah, so how many people? Or when do you want to come? Or what kind of stuff do they want to do? Then you can move on to discussing the details and start making plans and give them a specific information just as much as possible at the time and let him kind of think about it for a while again before you talk to him about it again. So you might have to take multiple of these semi-personal, casual conversations before a decision can be made at the church. And by the time the pastor presents the idea to the congregation or the elders board or whatever leadership structure they have in the church, if he feels comfortable presenting the idea to other people, then that means he's fully on board. So now if the church has like an elders board or something or church staff and whatnot, then it might be helpful for you to have those casual personal conversations about it with those people, those key people in the church. So then you'll have to have lots of those personal conversations before the plan could come to fruition. Now you might be thinking, I have to do all that? That sounds really exhausting and super time consuming. Like, why can't I just write up a ministry proposal with all the terms and conditions and just send it over to him via email? That sounds reasonable, right? And you can do that, but I promise you, do not underestimate the power of Nemawashi. By doing those things, taking those steps, it will most likely increase your chances of having your proposals accepted or being able to implement something new in the church or be a part of a positive change within the church. So that's it. That's my advice. And I hope this will help you have a better, more effective working relationship with your Japanese church that you're partnering with. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.